Yay. All right. Well, welcome to our beautiful evening with the Star Teachers. Thank you all for being here. I am very honored. It's been a while since the Star Teachers have made a public broadcast. They work every day with me and in my sessions and all that, but they've been kind of in the background rather than in the public, just waiting to see what the humans are going to do next. But
entertaining.
But a few weeks ago, they said it is time, and I was really glad. So, and it worked out great for everyone who's here to be here tonight. And for those who are going to be listening to the recording, please know that this information, the energy, everything that happens during this transmission, it's in real time for you too, because there really is no time or space that separates us. We are in unity consciousness. And what I want to say more than anything is you are not here by any means of mistake. You're here on purpose. You have something to provide to the group and to all the people who will be joining us in what you would call the future. So for posterity's sake, and every time that you listen to this, if you come back to it, you may hear more, you may receive more, and the group energy just continues to build and grow. So I really encourage you to, once I release that recording tomorrow, to share it with others as well. So let's see, we've got to mute a couple of people here just for now. I'm muting everybody just for this moment. We will have, of course, a Q&A at the very end of the transmission. For those of you who are new to the Star Teachers, we used to have quite regular transmissions from them publicly. And the way it usually works is I do a little welcome, a little bit of background information, a little housekeeping, and then they come on. We're going to do it a little bit differently tonight in that we want to build, I've been told to build the heart coherence with the group first through a couple of consciousness practices, very simple. And once we are in that group energy, the teachers will come on. They're going to give us a very important message for humanity. And each of you will probably hear it a little differently. So consider that it's also a special message just for you, especially custom crafted for you, but it will be released to humanity. And after that, they will go right directly into an experiential type of practice where you're going to be guided to into a space where they're going to do work with you, with all of us. And so it's very beautiful. I've been shown a little bit of it. And in fact, the background art that they helped me create actually for this one tonight is kind of something to give you a little hint of what's to come. And then after we are finished with that kind of upgrading experience, we will open the floor for Q&A, and you'll be able to ask questions. Since there are so many on the call tonight, and I'm so grateful for that, I would ask that you use the raised hands function on Zoom. If you're not familiar with what that is, you can always just raise your physical hand. During the part where the Star Teachers are speaking and interacting with you, I'm kind of out of the picture. I kind of go on a vacation in my personality, but my human body, my spacesuit, does all of the technical stuff. So, we'll be choosing people to ask your questions and so forth. So just know that I will not be reacting to the chat after they come on because, as I said, I'm in a special kind of space of my own. So please don't think I'm being rude. Having said that, I think I was going to try to put this on, I don't know if I can put this on YouTube Live anymore or Facebook Live. They used to. Oh, yeah, here we go. I think we'll do this on Facebook so forgive me just for a moment. Been a while since I've done this, so we'll see what happens. And I'm going to be putting that over in the background on another page so I don't have to look at it. All right. Oops. Come back. All right. Okay, so I think we are ready to go. Again, for those of you who are veterans, my apologies. We're going to give a little bit of background that you've probably heard quite a few times, and but hopefully it won't be too boring for you. For those of you who are new to the Star Teachers, I just want to say welcome again. Thank you for being brave enough to give up your time and energy, all of you, to come tonight. The Star Teachers showed up in my life in the physical form about, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years ago in a healing session that I was doing with someone. And they literally showed up in the session, took over, and orchestrated some very powerful things that actually helped save the person's life who was there in the session. But they were physically in my healing space with us. And after that, and we merged, and after that, they were in my consciousness pretty much all the time. And then after that, they started giving me kind of some very strong suggestions of what to do, including hosting galleries where I would ask, or people would ask questions of them, and I would channel them. And they are for want of a better term, they are a group ET entity. They say they are us, having evolved to a higher frequency form. If you wish to look at it from a more human standpoint, they're us in the future. And they are reaching down through these frequency layers to give us some help to continue on our mission, which they say we have already accomplished, or they wouldn't be alive. And that mission is to help transcend the greatest part of humanity, along with the planet, to the new earth, if you will, and to form the new human, to give birth to the new human. And the most interesting thing I think that they say is that it happens in this particular lifetime, this incarnation, the one that all of you are living right now. So if you're wondering why things are a little bit crazy right now, it's because things be happening. All right, and I'm sure that's what they're going to talk about tonight, at least in part. They assure us that we do accomplish this, and their assurance is guaranteed because they say they would not exist if we did not succeed in what we're supposed to do, which is to kind of knock us out of the lower density of existence as humans, as conscious beings, lift ourselves up past that place where duality exists, where negativity and all the low vibrational emotions and actions exist, to a place where they say most of the cosmos exists, in a place of unity consciousness, harmony, and creativity, a very high level state of being. They say that what we do in this particular lifetime is very important. And it's very important that we, if we haven't already, and most of you who I know on this call are actually doing this and have been doing this for quite some time, or maybe your whole life, the part of the mission is becoming consciously self-aware and consciously self-responsible for bringing more goodness, love, and unity into the planet, into the species, regardless of what is going on, to hold sacred space, if you will, and to be a sacred vessel of that energy. As we do this, we hit critical mass, and in fact, they said we did hit critical mass a few years ago for it, and so that is why everything seems speeded up. That's why things seem to be falling apart, because the old has to fall apart before the new can be kind of revealed as we peel back the layers. They say that humans tend to be, and other civilizations like us, this has happened on many other planets, many other dimensions. It seems to be a default for beings at the level that we're at right now to not really take all this seriously or take self-responsibility for it fully until we are close to a catastrophic self-annihilation of the species. And they say that is upon us now. It's going to happen. It may happen from a natural disaster, or it may happen, more than likely will start to happen from, human activity. However, we have an oh crap moment towards the end where we all kind of had this realization of, oh, we need to all work together on this and work with each other's gifts. And once we have that moment and we agree to it, then we really then we alleviate that catastrophe and we move up. They say that we build a much better society here on the planet. Eventually we become starfaring, we become interstellar, we become eventually interdimensional, and eventually there's no one living on this planet anymore as humans. We are them in a totally different dimension and much more elevated form. So that's kind of the chronology, if you will. But because everything is connected, it's kind of the infinity symbol. It's not a straight line. So they're always here to help advise us. However, they say that they will not do our homework for us, nor will they take the tests for us. They will give us some direction on where the answers are and how we do it, but they're not going to do it for us. So we're here to take care of our part starting tonight, if you haven't already. Your mission, if you should accept it, is to become the best version of you can be and go out there and spread that around the earth and elsewhere. So before I go on, any questions about that? Because it's kind of an esoteric idea and it may not make a lot of sense to some people in the way that I was trying to explain it. Any questions? Cool. All right. You can ask questions at the very end as well, and when they're still on, and they will give you a much better answer than I could ever give you because I'm just little me. So a little bit of just housekeeping before we get started. Again, please, I ask you to keep yourselves muted throughout this portion until we do get to the Q&A. You can chat with each other if you like. That's fine, and I'll preserve the chat for everyone with the replay if you like. The main message I was told to give everyone is to please remind everyone this is a safe, peaceful place for all. And so to maintain that sense of safety and peace and comfort and heart coherence, which is going to be very, very important for what we do tonight, we ask that, that there's no conversation or statements being made about one side of politics than the other or belief systems or anything like that. You can ask questions about it in the Q&A, but do refrain from trying to proselytize or get your message out there or whatever during this session. That you can do that on your own time, but this is a safe place for everybody. And we have people from so many diverse backgrounds, belief systems, and allegiances here tonight. So we want to bring forth that idea that we are all one. We are brothers and sisters, but we are literally one. And I hope that you will feel wonderful through the session and you will enjoy what they have in store for you. And then the other thing I would say is during, once we start our consciousness practices here in just a moment, which will include some breath work and a little bit of chanting an Om chant to kind of bring us together. If you want, there will be music, very special music. If you like to use, headphones or AirPods or whatever, you can use that. If you want to put an eye mask or a blindfold on during the guided part of the session, you may do that as well. You turn your lights off, whatever. But during the Q&A especially, I do encourage you all to turn your cameras on. We all love each other here. We accept each other wholeheartedly, soul-heartedly, and there's no judgment or criticism. So it brings a lot more fun into it when you do have your camera on. So having said that, any questions, any comments before we get started with the good portion of the show, of the day? Everybody good? Okay. Oh, gosh, it's just so good to see all of you. Some of you are just old dear friends. Some of you are brand new friends. Thank you so much. Very honored. So the consciousness practice that we're going to do is very simple. We're not going to do a lot of huffing and puffing or anything like that. But one of the things we know is that the breath is the bridge between the physical world, your physical body, or what I like to call spacesuit, and the other realms, all right, the higher realms. When we all breathe in coherence with each other, in a special pattern, in a rhythmic pattern, you start to develop something within your own neurological systems and in your heart and within the group's energy and your own energy that brings everybody into a higher level of existence. It feels really good, but I will say if you have super high blood pressure or you have a migraine tonight, and you find that the breathing is uncomfortable to you or makes you too dizzy, just stop and breathe normally, but just keep the rhythm in your mind with us. You can breathe astrally with us if you like, in your imagination. There will be a couple of breath holds and squeezing of the pelvic floor just for a second or two, and that helps to activate the pineal gland, which is kind of our cosmic satellite dish. It will help us to have a direct channel to the information that's coming. So if you're excited about that, great. If you're not so sure about it, just kind of hang along with us and enjoy the energy. Try to feel the energy of the group, okay? But it's nothing scary, I promise you. And then at the end of that, we're going to do 2 different types of breaths, just for like a minute each. And then we are going to chant the Om chant. And I highly recommend that you do chant it out loud, because when you use your voice, you start to vibrate all of the crystals in your body, especially the ones in the pineal gland, but in all your cells, and they start to oscillate at the same rate of oscillation. And they create, if you want to get all sciencey, they create the piezoelectrical effect, which is how your radios work. It's how all of your electronics work. It's how the computer or the phone that you're watching this on works. It is how we will connect to the quantum field, which is where all information lies. And it is where the teachers are going to meet us kind of halfway to, we'll raise our frequency. They're going to lower theirs a little bit. We're going to meet in that space.
Okay,
And then
thank you.
we're going to meet in that space. And that's where we'll have the experience. And it will really enhance the experience if you participate like that. Don't feel self-conscious, and only do it at your own pace and your own ability, okay? Okay, so we're going to do that, and I think we'll just get started because I think we've got everybody muted now. All right, so the first coherency practice we're going to do is it's a breathing pattern that is 4 counts of inhale and 4 counts of exhale. You're going to breathe in through the nose if you possibly can, and you're going to breathe out softly through the mouth if you can. So it kind of sounds like this. okay? You can either haw the breath out or you can, but it needs to be a little bit audible, okay? So 4 counts in, 4 counts out, and I'll guide you, and I have a little recording of my voice counting it so that you'll be able to keep up. And then I highly recommend that at the beginning of the breath, you look up with your eyes to this point here in your forehead, and then close your eyes and keep looking up for a moment, and then you can start the breath. Okay, so I'd love for everybody to just take a nice deep breath in together and look up. Close your eyes and keep that sight looking up, and then exhale. Good. Now relax really deeply, and I'm going to start some good music that will help us. And you can join in with the breath as you like as soon as I start the count. Here we go. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And be sure to relax as you're doing this. 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, keep breathing. 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 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 2. Sure you're breathing very deeply. 4. Out, 2. Full diaphragmatic breath. 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Relax your body. 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 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 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And as you continue to listen to the music, I want you to take now a very, very deep, deep breath in. And pull up on your pelvic floor, pull your belly button in, and maybe drop your chin a little bit and hold the breath and squeeze for a moment. And now blow all the breath out and relax. Drop your chin, keep the eyes closed, and hold that breath there, the exhale. And if you need to take a little sip of breath in, you do that. Blow it back out. Hold again. Now inhale very deeply through the nose. And again, squeeze and send the energy up from your pelvic floor all the way up through your spine like a blue light, striking that little pineal gland at the top center of your brain and opening up the crown of your head and sending that light out like a beacon, like a signal. Hold the breath, squeeze, and exhale. Allow yourself to breathe normally now for a few moments. Relax. Let it come back to normal. how you're feeling. Allow yourself to get very relaxed, and yet have a sense of anticipation and excitement about what's going to happen next. This sense of excitement is very important for what's to come, because we are taking a volitional, creative part in all of this. So, keeping your eyes closed, the next breath pattern is going to be 2 counts for inhale, 2 counts for exhale. If that's a little fast for you, you go at your own pace, but keep it even, if you will. Okay? We're just going to do that for about a moment, and then we're going to repeat the holds and the squeezing at the end, which are very important for bringing coherence. And while you're breathing, think about breathing in and out through your heart. And think about when you inhale, you're pulling in everybody else's heart energy into yours. And when you exhale, you're flowing it back out to everyone else's heart, amplified. All right? So we're going to start the music, and then I'll start the count in just a moment. Oops, hold on. I'll start, sorry. Allow the shaman's drum to connect to your heart. Feel the goodness of that. Find yourself in a natural space in your mind, free of worries and cares. And we'll begin the 2-2 breath now. Breathing with each other. 2, out, 2. Forming coherence. 2, out, 2. A unified field of consciousness. Out, 2. Letting go of all worries, fears, out, 2. Distractions. 2, out, 2. Bringing in fresh oxygen. Out, 2. Letting go of everything that is no longer serving you. In, 2, out, 2. Knowing that this is bridging you between this world and the next. In, 2, out, 2. Keep going if you can. Out, 2. In, 2, out, 2. In, 2, out, 2. Going deeper and deeper into the field as you breathe. 2. In, 2. Doing great. 2. In, 2. Out, 2. In. May start to hear other sounds coming from within your own being. Out, 2. Let them happen. 2, out, 2. Feel your connection with everything. Out, 2. The heart of the planet. 2, out, 2. The heart of the cosmos. 2, out, 2. In, 2, out, 2. In, 2, out, 2. In, 2, out, 2. In, 2, out. This time. 2. And listening to the music, I want you all to take a very deep breath in through the nose. hold and squeeze just for a moment. Now blow all the air out, all of it. Drop your chin and hold the exhale. Now you may start to get a little uncomfortable, a little twitchy, so go past that state just for a moment if you can to strengthen yourself. And then if you need to take a sip of air, do so. And then blow it back out. And hold the exhalation again. And relax as deeply as you can. Relax. And allow that pure oxygen to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the cells. And then everyone take that super deep breath in. And then hold the breath and squeeze your pelvic floor up, your navel in, drop your chin a bit, and again, send that energy up like a big light through the body, lighting up your brain, lighting up your pineal gland, lighting up every cell, all your chakras. Your energy field is glowing. You're becoming coherent with the universe, with the quantum field, with the mind of the divine. And then exhale. And allow yourself to breathe normally and easily. Come back to a state of relaxed being, of calm. It might be at this point you start to notice something behind your eyelids. Maybe little blinking lights, little flowing energy. Maybe it's not so black in there anymore. Just observe it. Don't get attached to it. Take a few moments to be quiet and still here. Notice how your body feels. You might feel a little expanded in the space where you are residing. That is good. And so the next part, the final part before we go in to inviting the teachers in fully, is to use a mantra. A mantra is a piece of sound and vibrational technology where we are going to take deep breaths and then we're going to intone the sound Om, okay, in whatever pitch and pace you like. So this one, you're going to hear monks chanting the chant behind me. And after a while, you just listen to your own voice chanting it and feel it, okay? Take very deep breaths in and then let it out. Om. Until you have no more breath, then take another breath. Even if the person next to you or in front of you or all the people that you're hearing are, well, they're muted, so you won't hear them, but no matter what, I want you to do it at your own pace. We're going to do this for a while because this really starts to vibrate the crystals. And it's also a signal to the universe that we are ready to join with it in unity consciousness. So if you will, take a deep breath in and then begin the chant. Remember, you can do it at your own pitch. And as you're chanting, I will be playing a very special singing bowl to bring even more energy into this practice. then as you're ready, let the chant become silent within you. Let it begin to reverberate throughout your consciousness, throughout your body, through every part of your being. And it's from here that we wish to tell you to use your greatest attunement tool, your greatest tuning mechanism, your imagination. Use it fully tonight as you're guided by the teachers. You may keep your eyes closed or you can open them. Who knows what you'll see? But they are ready to enter, and so I will go into my little vacation spot, and I wish you all a wonderful experience. I'll see you on the other side. We extend greetings to all of you, our future ancestors, and our deepest gratitude, not only for being here for this transmission, but here in this moment for the greatest show in the universe, your transformation. We wish to extend our deepest unconditional love, our affection and fondness, and our friendship, as well as our guidance. We thank you so much for being here. We are the teachers, although we really do not have a label. It's the label that we had to give our partner because she insisted that there was one. But we have evolved past the need for any kind of categorization or identification. Even though we are a group entity of what you might call interdimensional beings, star beings, we are unique in our own soul personalities still, and each soul signature offers something beautiful to the collective of the whole for which we are. As our partner said earlier in this broadcast, we are you on a higher frequency, but don't let the words higher or lower bamboozle you. They're fairly meaningless. It's just a different frequency, but it is a frequency that we understand that you are striving for, because we hear your voices constantly. We feel your hearts reaching out for us, asking us to help. Help us end all the chaos, all the madness, all the hatefulness, all the struggle, all the sorrowing and the suffering in this place. As our partner told you before, we don't do your homework for you. This is something that you signed up to do when you came here, over and over again, most of you, because you came here to have the experience of going through this birthing process, this evolvement. And ultimately, you came here to break free of the gravity hold of this density and move upward back into the place where you are more happy and fulfilled. This is a place where we exist. However, we are still very, very young in this as well. And please know there are infinite layers of being. You never get the brass ring. There's always something new to be attained. Always some new adventure, always some new gift to become enhanced with. Let that be a message of great hope to you. But during this transmission, we have gathered you all together, and again, make no mistake, you are here on purpose, and you've been chosen to be here together for your special gifts. Each one of you plays a very special part in what we are doing. We do it together, and we do it through all of our iterations. All the infinite versions of you are coming together in this one moment, which is the moment of the present, the now, to enhance everyone's experience. Indeed yours, but everyone's, because you're all connected. We are all connected. There is only one being really in the infiniverse, and it is you and all the other reflections of you. We're going to work with that a little bit in this transmission, and we hope that you will enjoy it. But we wish to bring forth a message, as we always do. As we said before, we hear your voices, we feel your hearts, and there's a lot of questioning going on, a lot of what the actual is happening on this planet, and how can we bring it into a more harmonious state, because you wouldn't be listening to this transmission now if that wasn't what you wanted. Those who are still kind of on the place and the path where they feel the need to enhance their being by becoming more powerful over others, or gaining something more than someone else, they're still in a kind of a fear-based place, and we're here to help you overcome the fear, because the real message is there is nothing to fear. When we think about it, we ponder it, we're sure you understand that the main fear, the deepest fear that most beings have, is the fear of death and suffering. But most of you who are here already know there is no death. There is only change in form and function via your vibrational state in any given moment. And so, the cells die that make up your spacesuit, your body, but eventually you do shuck that body off and you return or transform into another version of yourself where you are, a completely different thing. It doesn't mean that you cease to exist. It means that you chose to explore somewhere else, something else, as someone else or something else. There's no need to fear. And those of you who have had near-death experiences can certainly attest to this. It is like walking through a door. It's a beautiful experience. And the suffering that was perceived in this place is understood and is no longer considered suffering, because really suffering is just a concept of the human mind. To help you conceptualize and form opinions about the contrasts in this particular density. This is a construct of duality. It's held together by duality and certain laws, if you will. But you built this construct, and you are now destroying this construct very quickly, we might add. And yet, from your point, your point of perception, your vantage point, it might seem like other people are destroying it. Other people are contributing to perhaps the destruction or the defilement of something that you feel very strongly you helped build that needs to be preserved. But really, all that needs to be preserved is your heart, is your continued conscious focus of your own being and striving to be the best of that own being that you possibly can, consciously in each and every moment. This is how you do it. This is how you did it. And this is how we now exist in the place we exist, because you did it, and you did it in this lifetime. So we hear a lot of minds saying, yes, but it's all chaos here, madness. I'm afraid I'm going to lose everything. Some of you are afraid of powers taking over and, enslaving you and taking everything away from you. And others are afraid that the victories that you have enjoyed in the last few months or years are suddenly going to be taken away from you if you're not vigilant. And it's all about me, mine, preserve, no matter what, and fight the good fight. Well, we're here to tell you, the longer you continue to fight and resist anything, the longer this process gets drawn out. And if you're tired of it, like most people are, you must turn your focus from fighting and resisting whatever it is that you feel is worrying you or perhaps haunting you, and turn your attention to how can you make this a paradise now, not just for yourself, but for others. Make paradise now. And you start with yourself. The default mode network inside the human operating system we call the brain and the nervous system, it's been really a nice little function. It helps you to remember what to do when you're in danger. It helps you to survive. But you are now taking a quantum leap, to make a pun, past that threshold very quickly, where you no longer need to worry about survival. There is no need to survive because you are eternal and you are getting ready to transform yourself into something that is purely spirit that can take on whichever form you like at will. And there is no suffering because the suffering is part of the ego personality. It is the thing that holds you back from taking good risks. And the only way you can transform and change and build and grow is to take those risks. So, how did you do it? Well, we can't give away all the clues because you have to come up with them yourself and you have to do it as a group. And that's the homework that you're being charged with right now and in the coming months. But what we can do is tell you that to bring that coherence, it's very important that you stop doing a few things and start doing a few things. So we have a little list for you. And this will be recorded, so you don't have to worry about remembering it all or writing it down. Just absorb. The first one is cut back on your consuming. And we mean across the board. However that looks to you. We're not just talking about consuming certain types of foods or drinks or things like that. We're talking about consuming all the information that is just flinging itself at you willy-nilly all the time, always in your face. Stop consuming it. It's very addictive. It changes your neurology. It changes your chemistry inside the spacesuit, and it keeps it on high alert. It's like being in a terribly abusive relationship. It does not matter what's happening in the material world right now, as far as what your social media and your friends and the newspapers and the magazines and everything are telling you. We're not saying go hide your head in the sand, but we're saying this thing here is very, very addictive, and it is very unhealthy for the spacesuit. And if you want to take the spacesuit with you to a higher level and perfect it, and you want to release from a lot of the suffering that you're engaged in now, you need to set that thing down and use it for what it was originally intended for, a communication device. Use it for a telephone. Use it for your most important things like, keeping in touch with people. But we encourage you, if you're really, really brave, to take all your social media off of it and use it as a telephone so that if you do have to get on to, connect with others, you get on your computer, but don't stay on your computer for 12 hours a day. Don't turn your TV on and sit in front of it for 12 hours a day, not even for 2 hours a day. Because in the age of technology that you're in, it's a beautiful, wondrous, amazing, miraculous time. But everybody has their own opinion, and they all think they're right. And indeed, they are for them in their special universe. But what we are seeing is our friends, our future ancestors, thinking that to keep up, if they don't keep up, they're going to get pulled under in the tide of what's happening, and they won't be prepared for if it happens negatively on their account. And so people are trying to keep up with every single thing that's happening, and it is like a child who has been growing up in a terribly abusive family where they never know when the next punch is going to come. And so they're constantly on high alert, waiting for the next piece of information to come in so that they can dissect it and figure out what to do ahead of it. That's called worry, at the very least. What we want to tell you all is to bring a little bit of perspective here. Worry is nothing more than you worshiping that which you are afraid of with your attention. If there's a message we can get across to you tonight, it is that you are infinitely capable, unlimited in your abilities, and you are eternal. And nothing that is happening in your physical reality is really a reality. It's just stuff. It's just stuff. To bring it into perspective, how would you feel if we told you you were probably going to be in great danger if you did not watch every channel on your internet TV at the same time and take it all in so that you could digest it and make good assumptions for the future? Because all that information is there, but you don't do that, do you? Or most of you don't. You tune into one channel and watch one program at a time. But not so with your new technology. You are constantly with each post, with each message, hearing something from a different perspective. Nothing wrong with that, but you're trying to keep up with it, keep score, make assumptions, and worst of all, take sides. Worst of all, taking sides. Taking sides is the same thing that people have been doing for millennia, and it has not worked. When you take sides, you create an us versus them paradigm, which reinforces the duality paradigm that holds this construct together and pins you to this level. Those of you who are listening to this don't want to be pinned to this level, or you wouldn't be here. You're ready to, forgive the cliched word now, ascend. And to ascend, you must get past that barrier that there actually is a them. There is no one else. There are other reflections of yourselves showing you different examples of contrast so that you can decide within reason what you want to do and be as you move forward. Instead of resisting, have compassion, send love. And if you despise what some people are doing and you see it causing a lot of suffering, take the initiative and allow yourself to do something within that context for other people that is the opposite. If you see that the powers that are wanting to come into power or stay in power or jockey for power are trying to starve certain people out, go feed the hungry in your own neighborhood, in your own community, in your own family. And we're not just talking about food. If you see others being treated with inequality, if you see a lot of discrimination, Yes, you can protest. Yes, you can call your politicians. Yes, you can march. You can do all that. You can. And it will get some attention. It always has. But there's still, it's fear-based. It's anger-based. It's us versus them based. Instead, treat everyone you meet as an equal, with unconditional love, with respect. Find the good in them, even though it may be very hidden, and allow yourself to rise above it in your heart, in your mind. Again, we're not saying ignore evil, but evil is just as a squirrely word as good. Really, what we're saying is try to transcend what is happening that you don't feel resonant with by doing what you do feel resonant with. You start with yourself, and then you work your way outward into your family, into your neighborhood, into your community, and so forth. The avatars that most people really seem to revere from your quote unquote past in this place, the Earth School, almost all of them have the same message. In fact, they all had the same message. Love your neighbor. Love your enemies. Be kind. Be wise. Be gentle. Don't be greedy. Share everything you have and allow people to share with you. This might seem like a very infantile way of dealing with very strong problems. But really, the infantile way is the way that it's been happening for millennia, and that is to fight. Because when you fight, there sets up resistance, and resistance continues to build more resistance, and it just is one big continuous war. And no one wins. No one ever wins. It's a stalemate. It's people jockeying for power or for attention or for money or for land or for resources or whatever. None of it matters because the material world, the physical world, is just here for you to have experiences that are of a limited quality, because your true nature is not limited. And you chose to come here to have that experience so that you can really appreciate being unlimited once you let go of it. And you're very close to letting go of it now and building into that more unlimited self. So, how does one do this? Well, first, as we said, stop consuming so much. Consumers are the slave of the people who are selling to them, basically. So cut back on the things that are unhealthy for you, that eat up your time, that eat up your energy, that take up your mind. And in place of that, how about add in more time in nature, add in more time for personal practice, whatever that might be for you. Everyone has a different way. Add in kindness, even when nobody cares, especially when nobody cares or acknowledges it. It doesn't matter. Be the best you can be in each and every moment. Because whether you know this or not, it is one of the most contagious things you can do. And it does affect everything around you. Even so, it affects everything retroactively and proactively. Your ancestors will be affected by what you do. So focus on what it is you do want the world to be like. Focus on it in your form of meditation practice or whatever you do that lifts your vibrational state and sustains it. And that is very important because the sustained vibrational, or we could insert the word emotional state that you have for the most part, is what your world is going to reflect back to you. Again, most of you already know this, but you might need to hear it a different way. You are the creator, and everything you see around you, you created, believe it or not. And it's, the higher version of yourself creating all of this to give you choices about what to do next, how to move forward. We want to reinforce again, stop the us versus them paradigm as much as possible. Do an exercise. Take a challenge with us. See if you can, for 1 hour a day this week, for 7 days, 1 hour, not judge someone, not complain about them, not worry about them, not be afraid of them, but see them as a holy, divine person who has taken on a role maybe that isn't very wonderful in most people's eyes, or that is really wonderful in some people's eyes and really horrible in other people's eyes. Try to see the divine spark in everyone for 1 hour a day. No complaining, no judging. See if you can do it and keep track of it. And the minute you start to judge or complain or criticize, you have to start your hour over again. Oh, take the challenge and see if you can do it. What you will find is even if you do it for a few minutes, you become stronger and you become happier because you start to focus on other things. How beautiful the furniture is in your room, how lovely it is to breathe fresh air, how interesting it is to notice, someone's other qualities rather than your default method of judging them. Even and especially the people you find despicable. Very strong practice. We encourage you to try it. The next thing we want to talk about is rebalancing your internal seesaw. So we think of the soul as you think of yourself as you, and you're sitting on a seesaw, right? A teeter-totter. And on the other end of the teeter-totter, there's someone who is maybe directly opposite of the person you are, or that you perceive as opposite. Well, if you were ever on a teeter-totter or a seesaw when you were a child, maybe you and your friend decided to start both in the middle, right in the middle, and stay level and see how long you could keep it level. And then eventually you started scooching back one by one. And eventually one got to the end of the seat before the other usually came poof, down on the floor, on the ground, and the other person poof, was catapulted off. Don't know if that ever happened to you, but it does happen. When you allow yourself to be consumed by what you are consuming, consumed by your fear, consumed by your attention to too many things that are outside of you, you become very, very heavy and out of balance. But what happens is that heaviness is directed to the other part of you that's sitting on the other side of that seesaw. And eventually, if you accumulate too much heaviness, i.e. suffering that is self-imposed, you will catapult yourself off into a black hole of chaos and more suffering. And then you have to start all over again. It's a case of the feather being heavier than the stone. So how do you rebalance that internal scale, that seesaw? You must learn how to allow yourself to let go, to let everything be for a while, to balance through heart coherence, to balance your heart with your mind, with the world, and with everyone around you. It's a tall order, but there are so many ways up that mountain, so many paths. Each of you might have your own favorite way of taking a mental vacation or an emotional vacation from what's happening in the world. Our partner loves yoga and breath work and meditation and being in nature. That's why at the beginning of this transmission, you were led through a couple of little practices just to give you a taste. In the coming weeks and months, she'll be broadcasting different ways to do this, because the deeper you go inside yourself, the more quiet you can become and still, and these practices will bring stillness. Suddenly you start to open and expand into the quantum field, the cosmic mind of the divine. And you feel, you don't just feel, you exist in the oneness. And if you even get a tiny, tiny taste of that, a tiny drop of it, just like the other types of addictive chemicals that run through that spacesuit, from the suffering, the anxiety, the worry, the fear, this counteracts it and grows and causes a calmness and a clarity and an ability to create again. Here's a concept we want to really drive
What?
tonight. If you are in a state of fear, anxiety, worry, any kind of those low vibrational states of emotion, you are in a fight or flight state of being, and your creative abilities get cut off. You can't do both at the same time. So when you start to do these practices, and you might have a different practice. One of you is a sailor. You might like to get out on the ocean and sail and be in the quiet and the stillness of the forest, or take a sauna, or dance, drum, whatever. But whatever it is you do that lifts up your vibrational state and gets you to a higher level of being for a sustained period of time, where you can then go within yourself and shut out everything else but the inner universe, everything will start to fall in place for you. It's like getting rid of all the junk mail in your inbox. It feels so freeing. Or cleaning out that closet that's been cluttered for and stuffed for, years. Suddenly you have space and it just feels liberating. So we encourage you to do whatever it takes to go within and to go deep and to shut the world out. And for goodness sakes, do it if you must. Get up earlier in the morning, but do it before you let the rest of the world in. Don't reach for this as soon as you wake up. Don't turn on your computer, your TV, your radio. Try not to talk to anyone else. Go into your practice for a little bit, first thing in the morning, even if it's for 3 to 5 minutes. Don't let the outside world in until you get reacquainted with you. The ultimate being, the ultimate creator, the most powerful. If everybody did this, who's on this call just alone and listening in the future, the world would change very rapidly from chaos to harmony. It's been taught for ages, but most people are addicted to the chaos. So they keep reaching for that, whatever it is that brings it back into their lives. Wean yourself off of those bad chemicals, if you will, and give yourself the gift of peace. And then, as often as you can throughout the day, take a little break. And for goodness sakes, do it again before you go to sleep, so that you can travel in your sleep and enjoy connecting with the all that is, the most beautiful. And when you do, then you really are creative. And then you start to have great ideas about how to fix things. If you are a fixer and you want to make this place a better place for everybody, you have to get rid of all of that junk mail first so that you have enough memory in your computer banks to come up with something great. Are we communicating? Allow yourself the time and the space. It is the most important thing you will do for yourself and for the world. We're ever so grateful because you do it. Eventually, this message does get through, and you do it, and you do it in this lifetime. So if you feel a kind of prickly sensation when we talk about what's to come, know that there is a fine line between anxiety and excitement. Anxiety goes into worry, and what did we say about worry? It's worshiping the thing you're afraid of. It's giving your attention. It's feeding it your energy. So go into excitement and allow yourself to ask these questions. Anytime you start to get annoyed or upset or angry or feeling resistant to what is happening all around you, ask yourself this: do I really know everything about what's going on? And if you don't, maybe you might postulate to yourself that maybe you don't know what the outcome's going to be either, and be open to a positive outcome. Because there are no positives or negatives other than what you label them. They're all your perceptions. Be excited about the possibility that change is not for the worst, but it might be for the best, with your contribution. And we have to underscore that. But for you to transfer fully, transformation is very, very important to include your creative power, because you are the creator. And if you've forgotten that you're the creator and you're afraid and freaking out about all of the things that are the unknowns, well, you just can't stay in creation mode. And then you just kind of cut yourself off from yourself and nothing gets done. So be creative. What can you do to make the world better today and tomorrow and the next day? And know that no effort is too small. They are all important, and they all get us to where we are going. All of us to a better life, and very quickly. Unless you choose to experiment with the suffering a little longer, and then you get to stay in this level. But most of you who are here tonight will not. And so having said that, we'll quit lecturing you. We just wanted to give you a few hints about how you do it, and how you can do it, and how you can feel better. But if you're ready, we will go into the guided portion where you're going to go deep, and you're going to allow yourself to receive the energy of expansion, the energy of coherence, the energy of unity consciousness from us and the rest of your brothers and sisters in the cosmos. So we invite you to get comfortable. If you wish to put on an eye mask or an eye covering or shut your lights off, you can. If you would like to hear the music behind and the voice more clearly, you could put on your headphones or other hearing devices. And we'll begin in just a moment. We'll start with some music. ask you to become very calm and quiet. And if you like, you could even lie down or recline. This is your time. Take a deep breath together and breathe in through your hearts. And as you let the breath go, allow yourself the enjoyment of being free for a while. Be free and relaxed and easy. And know that there is an amazing amount of information coming through the words that you will be hearing, but the biggest part of the information, the healing and the expansion, the upgrades are coming energetically. The words are merely the carrier wave. Allow yourself to get comfortable. And we're going to ask you to use your imagination as your tuning device once again. And allow yourself to imagine becoming very quiet, peaceful, and relaxed. So relaxed that you feel weightless. And you feel a warmth coming into your body. And your mind is quiet. And it feels lovely to just float here, levitating. It's almost as if the words and the music are lifting you, lightening you. Expanding you. And you do feel as if you're lifting right up and out of the ceiling of the place where you are. And as you lift up and out, you feel like you're expanding and free. No restraints, no worries, nothing to do, just to experience. How lovely it is to just be free to experience. And each of you here right now listening are being lifted by a beautiful golden beam of light. Up, up, up. And as you look to where you are, you're out in space and you see a familiar shape right above you. You realize it's a beautiful craft, it's a beautiful ship, it's something that you recognize, you've seen it before. Maybe you didn't remember it until just now. Or maybe you see it all the time and you remember it. And it brings you great joy, great comfort. So as you relax and you release and you let go of all tension and all concerns about the body, know that you're perfectly protected and cared for in each and every moment of this journey. And you come very close to what is the bottom of this craft. Giant, giant place. It's glowing and beautiful. And then suddenly you go right through the bottom, all together, all of you. You're in the interior of this craft, but it doesn't look like anything that is ever described as a flying saucer. Looks like a beautiful temple. A temple of gorgeous light. Fantastic energy. Relax as your bodies, as your minds, as your spirits are collected in a circle around the interior of this space, levitating here in a circle with each other, your special brothers and sisters. You feel so much joy being here together in this place with this energy. And then as you get your bearings, you notice there is encircling the entire interior a group of us holding watch over you in a form that is pleasing to you, colorful, gentle, peaceful, protective, nurturing. And at the top of this space is a gorgeous dome-like structure, but it's transparent and you can see the universe in all of its glory through it. You don't just see stars and planets and heavenly bodies and galaxies. You literally see the different dimensions and frequencies. And the energy that is here feels like it takes up all of your space. You feel very coherent. Breathe that love in. As you exhale it back out, it goes into the center of the circle that you're levitating in and amplifies as a golden sphere. And it grows and grows and grows with each breath that you all breathe together. And with each breath, you relax deeper. And you remember more. You remember who you are, what you are, why you are. Float here together. Feel the energy of each other, sharing everything of yourselves with yourselves. It feels so good to be here. And there are many things that are occurring all at once, even though it feels very quiet and peaceful here. All of us surrounding you, your guides, your ancestors, ascended masters, avatars, celestials. We are all doing important work, rewiring all of your systems to an enhanced, upgraded state so that you can handle more energy, more light, more goodness, until all there is within you is goodness, light, love, wisdom to use these gifts in the proper way for the greatest and the most harmonious good of all. And you may be feeling some things within yourself being restructured, and let it happen. But as it's happening, we invite you to once again look around this circle the interior and the exterior circles of beings, and know that they are all part of you and you them, connected at the heart in perfection, always. This is your true nature. Go deeper. Receive the energy that is coming into you now, expanding your consciousness. Excellent. And now expand your consciousness to allow you to perceive that which you didn't notice before in this space. That above each being in the outer circle are infinite circles, rows of circles of a reflective material, like mirrors, going the full length of the walls and up to the space where the galaxies are showing through the ceiling and beyond. And in these infinite mirrors, or perhaps they look like monitors to you, allow yourself to begin to see all the beings whom you love. And each time you see someone in one of the circle mirrors, you feel their love and you love them. You breathe their love and their goodness in, and you breathe it back to them. Take a few moments and do this. Notice if any good memories come up, beautiful experiences, maybe even future dreams of beautiful experiences with some of these beings. Look around you in all of these mirrors. Find the people, the beings, they don't have to be humans, that you love. Pull all of that love into your heart and send it back to them from your heart. Take a few moments to engage in this way. Excellent. Now pull all that love into your heart. And as you exhale, send it to the orb in the center of the room, the center of the circle, and watch it grow brighter, more beautiful. And once again, turn your attention to the mirrors going up and down the walls. And begin to see all the people who you know, but not well, or haven't really given any thought to, or maybe that you don't know at all. Just let random faces come in the mirrors, and each time you see a face, send it love, and then breathe in love from them as you see the face light up. Do this for a few moments. They don't have to be acquaintances even, they can be just someone you saw on the street the other day, or the unknown masses across the world. Send them love, breathe them in their love. Feel the heart connection here. And as you do, notice something beautiful about each person, each being. Express gratitude for their beauty, for their gifts, for their light. As you notice the mirrors multiplying into the billions, don't be afraid, you're up to the task. Send love to them all, and receive love from them all. And if there's any information that comes in for you, receive it too. Messages, clues. And then collectively breathe in all of that love, all of that information into your heart. And then exhale it into the center sphere, once again, watching it grow and glow, becoming more and more enlivened, more and more perfected. Good job. Turning your attention to the mirrors on the wall behind us. Once again, allow yourself, no matter how scary or upsetting it may seem, to stay very calm and centered, and allow all the beings who you find despicable, evil, beings who hurt you maybe, or caused you suffering, or caused others suffering, see them clearly in the mirrors on the wall. Remain calm. Remain positive and clear. And with each face that shows up, send love to the heart of that person. And notice that you see a spark of the divine respond, and gratefully receive it from them. Infuse each of these beings with your love. Wake them up. And in return, be awakened by them to things you never knew about yourself that could be appreciated. Engage in this dance of reciprocal love and appreciation with each of these beings for the next few moments. Do it to the best of your ability and keep trying. Trust that this is the right thing. It's the best thing. Do this now and feel the healing. Feel the balancing. Keep going. We believe in you. This is some of the greatest work you'll ever do. Keep doing it. Allow yourself to become lighter and lighter with this practice. Taking note that the more you send love and receive appreciation and love, the lighter you become, the more clear you become. Send one more big giant wave of love to all of them. And then inhale a giant wave of love from them all into your heart. And then exhale it into the center of the circle, into that orb, that sphere of light. Watch it become gargantuan, almost taking up all the space of the interior of the craft, the temple. You feel the warmth, the kindness, and the coherence. And finally, one more glance at all the mirrors and see yourself. See yourself in all the ways that you present to yourself. Without blinders on and without judgment, without any negativity at all. See the beauty and see the goodness. And send love to each version, to each facet. And watch the divine light up within. And as it does, it pours back into you and fills you to the brim. And you feel such healing, such power, such an expansion of your consciousness, such peace. And as you breathe it in, fill yourself up, and once more breathe it into the circle, in the sphere in the center of the circle, and watch it engulf everything. And be washed through and through, upgraded through and through, enhanced through and through, transformed to an entirely new, improved version of yourself. And you feel the connectedness between you and everyone and everything, everywhere and every when. And in this space of joy and high vibrational energy, you allow yourself to receive downloads of clarity, of wisdom, of creativity, of ideas about how to proceed. You save the world by saving yourself, You change the world by changing yourself, no longer being reactive to what is outside of you, but being thoughtfully and carefully responsive to all that is happening inside of you. It's all on purpose. It's all in perfect timing. And your time has arrived. Feel yourself glowing with this light. It's in every part of your being, even your physical being. Your cells, your atoms, your molecules, everything is being enhanced, upgraded. And then you reach out and hold hands with all of the beings in the circle with you, and all of us encircling you move in and wrap you in our arms. We are in such joy together, and this is your true nature, being connected in harmony and peace, in divine creative ability to honor, accept, and harmoniously work and play with each other, all that you call other, for the greatest and the most harmonious good. From this moment forward, let that be your vow, let that be your dream come true. And then allow yourself to be floated back down through the ship, down through space, easily and effortlessly and most harmoniously down into your body. Feel your body start to be filled with your energy, pure, good, holy, wise, completely liberated, completely powerful, pure. And then allow your body to come back into coherence with your spirit, with your heart, with your mind. Begin to feel your heart beating and your blood pumping through that spacesuit. Begin to feel the temperature of the air in the room, and begin to stretch and yawn and wiggle your fingers and your toes and flutter your eyelashes. Come all the way back, allowing yourself to once again come into the energy of the good earth, knowing that the earth is so grateful to have you back in your pure form, to take allegiance with her in this ascendance process. All of us moving forward together now. Awaken, arise, and welcome back. All right, everyone. Welcome back. And we are so honored now to invite you to turn your cameras on if you wish. We would encourage you to, so that everyone can see everyone and be more coherent. But it's time to take questions. And we are happy to answer anything that you would like to ask. Just be careful what you wish for, because it's just pure information and it may come as a very direct answer. And if you will, use the raised hands function if you know how to use it, or just raise your hand in the viewfinder and we will. Yes, Marty. Unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hello.
Um, Thank you. Thank you for that meditation. these are things I think I knew already, but push them away because they're so hard.
Mm.
Um, one thing I've been trying to work on is those that I find annoying or despicable. Um, I try to think of forgiving them,
Yes.
forgive them for their, their 3D view, their 3D beliefs.
Mhm.
That it's been hard. So the next step up is to love them, to send out love. That's a challenge, and I accept that challenge. So this is really more of a comment and a thank you.
Well, thank you. Forgiveness is part of that unconditional love process. Um, if we didn't say it verbally, it was coming through energetically, and it is a very important practice. And if any of you would like to receive a kind of a ritual for forgiveness that you haven't received from our partner before, you can always write to her and request it, and she'll send it to you. It's very powerful. But thank you for being honest and for for continuing with that energy because you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Okay.
Carol?
Well, I want to share something because this is pretty incredible. So I had my radio here and I've had it on all evening. And as soon as you started channeling the star teachers, the radio just went silent. So it was making this little staticky the whole time. And then as soon as you stopped to take questions, the radio started up again. There was one little point sort of at the end um, before we went into the meditation, and it was a very low little hum. So I picked it up because I know it was talking to me and held it for a while. But anyway, it was clearly no coincidence because it stayed totally silent.
And you may find those of you who use those radios for communication with ET beings or other types of beings that usually, especially when you're in a group situation and you go into a group meditation like that or any kind of a practice, the radio will go silent out of respect. So, nice observation. Thank you for sharing.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
The the DNA upgrades that we're all um, receiving,
Mhm.
I wonder if they could speak to that a little more specifically, because I know I'm getting these upgrades, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure what are they meaning for me. And then I'm getting these little just like science and maybe sacred geometry and maybe our DNA is being connected to the ships. There's a special factor to that new DNA that's connecting us to the ships and the orbs and then the upgrading the science. And I know I'm not clear, but this is just what I'm little things that are not clear to me that are coming to me that
Right. Your impressions are right on the mark. I mean, for one thing, we want to underscore that the DNA upgrades and the energetic upgrades that each of you are receiving and received during that practice are custom crafted for each one of you. So you are getting, like physical upgrading. Some of you might have or will experience healing of certain physical things or relief from a condition, if you will, if it is your time to do that, if it's time for that to be released or transformed. But you're right on the money about some of that upgrade, when we use the word DNA, we're not just talking about physical DNA that makes up that spacesuit. We're talking about the DNA of your consciousness. Each one of you has a unique facet of the consciousness of the whole. And when you talk about being connected, for instance, in the upgraded DNA to the ships, we want to talk about that just a little bit. We use the word ship in the journey tonight because most of you are comfortable now with that form of space, of a place. You still need to feel like you are in a place. And so many of you equate extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings with space travelers, i.e., traveling in a spacecraft. So we use that as a metaphor and brought you there. It was a physical place, and it is a physical place, but it is not necessarily how we or anybody else travels, really. We travel in consciousness. But you can return to that craft anytime you like, and you have before, and you will again, to receive sustenance, backup, or just comfort. And so, yes, you are connected to them because they are consciousness. They're not just some vehicle. They are consciousness, and they're linked to the consciousness of the beings who are interacting with them. So we hope that helps. Just as that radio is connected to your consciousness via those DNA consciousness strands, it's a little hard to explain in human language, but it is, you're on the right track. So, but please know that not all upgrading and healing is physical, nor is it necessary. You could be in an invalid body even at this point and still have the most incredible upgraded experience because you're being upgraded in the way that you need to be upgraded in the realm of your consciousness. So we hope that helps. Linda Bradbury, welcome. How may we be of service?
So it's probably one of the best ones I've ever done. Honestly, it was beautiful, but the song keeps going in my head of the wave of "We Are the World," and it's like crazy right now. It just doesn't stop. But is this something that we could listen to every morning to start our day and end every evening with our day?
Were you referring to the meditation or that song?
Both. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the song came from that, so I'm hoping that that
Yes.
stays with me
Yes.
because I think that will keep me focused on the love part of it.
Yes.
Maybe that's a trigger, like we did in that one time when you put the tongue to the roof of the mouth and it triggers whatever's going on.
Right.
But no, the meditation that we just
Yes.
did, we start our day and end our day with it because I think
Yes.
it would be really powerful.
Absolutely.
For me,
it should be used whenever you feel compelled to use it, but remember that consistency conditions your space. So if you are really drawn to that particular practice that we did tonight, that meditation, that journey, use it for as long as it feels useful to you. Morning and evening, whenever you need to. That's why it's being recorded. It will be published in the morning for everybody to use, and we encourage you to use it and share it. But it's really important that whatever practices you choose to do, they are enhanced by consistency. The more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more, remember, the more reinforced the habituation of wanting to use those things to bring more goodness in, to feel good, is. Just like when we were talking earlier, the negative chemicals that are created by anger or frustration or whatever, you become so habituated to that because they literally are chemicals that are addictive. And so you're constantly looking at your phone to see who's going to piss you off next, what next thing just is going to happen or what's happening to upset you so that you can get more of that juice, right? So we're trying to get you to flip the switch and be addicted, if you will, to the good stuff. And once you are, you free up all of that space, that mind space, and suddenly you're in creative mode and you realize how you can change the world. And you will. This is how you do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. Who else? Jeanette?
Okay, I just want to express serious gratitude. That was amazing. Like
You do
just
good
such an
work.
experience.
Thank you, but you do good work. We want to reinforce with all of you that whatever words you are hearing or whatever experiences you're having, you are giving to yourself via this medium. Okay?
Mhm.
So the gratitude goes to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you in advance for what you continue to do because of you, all of you. We exist and we are so grateful because we're in a really great place. We want you to come back to where we are. Thank you. Anyone else? We did see a question in the chat that asked about the forgiveness meditation. Our partner will publish that along with this recording tomorrow so that you can have it. It's a very simple practice, and you're encouraged to make it your own in whatever way that you choose to. It's just kind of a little format, an idea to give you so that you can practice it in your own way. And it's very powerful. And again, consistency. The more you use it, the better it gets, and the more the world changes around you for the better. All right. Anyone else? Anything else? We just really want to thank you for being here again. And we look forward to having many more of these transmissions with you, these interactions with you in the coming days and weeks and months. And our partner will be offering some classes online, really simple things that you can do to enhance the practice and enhance your experience. So we hope you'll join us. But just take what you learned and experienced tonight and share it with the world. Seriously, that's how you do it. You just share, you just love, and equally, doesn't matter who, as long as it's without any kind of divisiveness. All right. Thank you so much. We'll end by saying we love you. We're so grateful for you. And in Lakesh, it means we are another you. Be at peace.